Network Entertainment.
I know someone, okay? Hindi rin siya magaling magsalita. He wasn't as confident about, talking to people, selling something. Started in the internet, chatting.
Okay.
Chatting.
Okay.
And then slowly, because there was that dialogue
Right.
in chat, somehow when people would call and ask about the product, then he would know the answer.
Okay.
So it started there. And then started trying to learn how to do a pitch, how to
Right.
create a presentation that can showcase what differentiates me from the others.
Right.
And these people who say na hindi ko alam or hindi ko kaya, if they know the product in and out, if you
Yeah.
ask them in a very composed, relaxed
Right.
environment, they would know how to answer it.
Right.
And that's being very, very authentic. And that's where a buyer will be convinced more compared to the flashy person
Right.
dressing, hey,
Right,
this is what
right.
I'm selling, buy this, that, ganyan.
Right.
there.
So the baby steps can lead to bigger strides
Yeah.
that can get you to where you want. Hi, this is Mirza Season. Welcome to You Can Do This, a podcast that'll help you achieve your dreams and goals one episode at a time. What are you waiting for? Let's go! We may not realize it, but no matter what we do for a living, we are all salespeople. Whether it's persuading a boss about a project, idea, or negotiating a raise, motivating our team to try a new way of doing things, getting more views and likes on our social media posts, convincing our family to try a new restaurant, or even getting our boyfriend to watch the movie we want, we're always selling something. In this episode, we'll explore not just how good selling and persuasion skills can do wonders for our work and personal lives, but also the steps it takes to close any deal, whether or not you work in sales. Today's expert has an impressive track record in sales and account management spanning over 2 decades in multiple industries, including TV and media sales, IT consulting, real estate, consumer goods, telecommunications, educational, technology, and food. Lahat na. He has given workshops to multinationals, FMCG corporations, banks, auto dealerships, schools, and even startups. He's the founder, president, and lead educator at Tuason Management Consulting, Inc. Please welcome trainer and executive coach, Jerome Tuason.
Hello.
Hi, Coach Jerome.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm
Nice to
good,
see
I'm good.
you. So first of all, what is your own definition of sales, aside from the dictionary definition?
All right. So my own definition is basically moving others towards what you feel is what you have to give. So there is an exchange that's going to happen. It's basically convincing, persuading people to exchange something you've got for
Right.
what they've got.
I like that definition. Right. How long did it take for you to come up with that definition?
Actually, that was inspired by a book by Daniel Pink. I've been reading that book ever since I started
called
this.
what?
To Sell is Human.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
so pretty good book.
Right. Okay, we have to look for that book. So why, as I said, we're all salespeople. So why should we deliberately make a move to develop our selling skills, regardless of whether we're in sales or not?
Well, did you know, based also again on that book, we spend around 24 minutes of every hour trying to convince other people about something that we have to say.
That's
trying to
true.
move them towards a certain direction. So whether you are a doctor trying to convince someone that they need medication, whether
Right.
you are trying to convince someone to buy a
Wow.
property, or trying to convince your kid to just eat vegetables,
That's
you're
true.
already selling, right?
Right.
So there.
Right. So what is possible when we are good salespeople? And I'm sure since you're a good salesperson, siguro ang daming possibilities ng life mo.
Well, if you're a good salesperson, so basically you're able to convince people or sway them towards your way.
Right.
You'll be able to not just convince them to buy stuff, but basically also accept the things, ideas, concepts that you have in your mind, trying to convince them, what should be a right course of action for a certain
Right.
situation and another, what you should avoid. So it has its benefits, but it's like a tool. For me, it's like a tool. You have to be really careful about how you use your selling skills. And
Right.
that's where I guess authenticity comes in and being genuine, or not just to mislead other people, but to make sure whatever it is you're trying to convince them of is or has purpose.
Right. Can you give an example in your like daily life? Let's say with
Okay.
your children.
With
Paano
my
mo sila
children.
nasa sales talk to follow your
Oh,
orders?
so there are two parts, Mirza. The first one, you try to sell.
Okay.
But after a while, after 3 times of them not following you, so wala.
Wala.
Kailangan i-dictate mo na sa kanila, you have to follow me.
Right,
It's
right.
time for bed, or you have to do your homework, or it's time to kiss daddy goodnight.
Right.
So all of these things. So it's something I use, no? So there is a way of trying to convince them and trying to persuade them that, hey, this is the right thing to do.
Right.
And you have to show them that their way sometimes is not the best way to
Right.
handle a certain situation. But at the end of it all, since daddy knows best,
Basta. Yun na lang, basta.
you have to follow. I have to put my foot down.
Right.
So that's in the context of family. So,
Right.
but when it comes to work,
Yeah.
and as a trainer and a coach, as a trainer, you have to be not just convincing, but
Right.
also be credible in the way you teach certain concepts, right? So sometimes the skill of selling has to be incorporated in the way I teach. So it's not just about saying, hey, you should
Right.
follow the concept that I'm teaching right now. No, there has to be data, there has to be
Right.
testimonials, there has to be social proof for each
Right.
and every concept that you introduce. So that's how I use it.
Right. So you were, as I mentioned, you were in corporate sales for a long time, and then you put up your own company.
Yes.
So tell us
yes.
about what you do now and how you help
Okay.
people.
So, just as you said, no, I was a corporate guy for the longest time, had jobs in different industries. But then speaking training kind of landed on my lap. And that was around 4.5 years ago when I was asked to speak in a BPO.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was asked to speak in a BPO and said, hey, can you talk about leadership? And then I said, okay, yeah, I do that. So my speaking really started in church.
Okay.
So I was invited. Someone saw me in church and said, hey, can you do that in a business setting? So invited
Right.
me in a BPO. And then and after that, he said, hey, the guys were really inspired. Can you do it again?
Okay.
Okay, so I did it again. And then again. And then
Okay.
finally I said, hey, this is something I really love doing. So
Right.
I studied about the industry, tried to learn about the ins and outs, who
Right.
are the mentors that I can follow and shadow. And then eventually, after doing it for about a year and a half, it finally dawned on me that this is something I really want to do. And that's when I decided also to get certification as a coach.
Right.
And then eventually learned how to get clients of my own,
Right.
and then set up the company.
Right.
So cut to today,
Yeah.
where I am officially a full-time trainer and executive coach. And what started out as something like a passion project.
How is selling today in 2024, post-pandemic and all
Okay.
that, different from the techniques of the past? And especially
Techniques of the
now na online sales is, I don't know if it's taken over traditional
traditional
sales. What's the scenario now?
Yeah. Well, based on my own personal observation, given that I was selling way, way back since the start
Right.
of the year 2000s, I believe that in the past, it was more or less about relationships.
Yes.
In the past, when you were able to dine with the
Yes.
customers, somehow you build a relationship right away. And then even if there's not much information involved, if
Right.
they like you,
Right.
they say, I'm going to get
Right.
whatever it is you're selling, and then let's
Right.
see. Let's start from there.
Right.
But nowadays, everything from information to reviews are, you know, at the tips of the
Yeah.
fingers of everyone. So sometimes the relationship can be there still,
Right.
but it's not something that changes or makes a game changer in
Wow.
everything.
Wow.
There has to be credibility. So data has to be there. And at the same time, there has to be proof that what you're
Right.
selling or whatever it is that you're pushing
Right.
is credible and will really, really be beneficial for the client, whoever
Right.
that is who's
Right.
buying. So
Right.
before, if it was purely relationship, right now, you have to back up whatever it is you say during
Right.
that dinner or lunch while you're
Right,
selling
right,
or in
right.
the pitch, no?
Right.
To make sure that your client will get something that is beneficial for him.
So now all factors have to be covered.
Yes,
Right.
exactly. That's what I believe.
Right.
I guess somehow it can also be industry specific,
Right.
meaning there are some industries pwede pa rin, no? So
Uh-uh.
some of the traditional ways of selling can still work.
Right.
Especially if the relationships is really, really,
Right.
very tight. But at the end of the day, especially right now, sasabihin sa'yo ng friend mo, pare, I really appreciate you doing this for me, but I need the data and I need
Right.
the proof.
Right. So is it still true that people don't buy your product? They buy based on emotions.
I think there is some truth to that.
Right.
But somehow you know, if it's in the retail industry,
Right,
that
right.
can hold true.
Right, right.
But somehow, if it's B2B or business to business, there has to be some sort of really proof in
Right,
everything.
right,
So yes, emotions can get you through the door,
Right.
but it's not
It's not enough.
it's not enough to close it. So
Right.
sabi nga ni Maya Angelou, diba? People will forget what you say, what you
Right.
did, but they will never forget how you make
Made them
them feel.
Right, right.
So there is some truth to that, and you can still close deals based on emotion, but you have to
Right.
back it up.
Right, right. So, what have you observed throughout your decades of experience about the psychology of sales? What
Okay.
really makes people buy, especially today? As you mentioned, it's all those things.
Mm-hmm,
But what goes on in our human brain?
Yeah. I think
And
I can.
heart.
There's so many things, Mirza,
Right,
but
right,
I feel there are three things I can share with your listeners and viewers today. So I guess the first one would really be the need.
Right.
Okay, so it really depends in terms of buying, let's say, a car. If the need is there at the right moment, at the right time, then that makes them buy. It's just a matter of choosing. Nowadays, buyers don't need to ask the sellers. They can just go to the internet
Yeah.
and research, diba? I like this kind of car, and then
Right.
they will just research it. So ngayon, more or less, sellers have to be very knowledgeable about what their competitors sell and why their products are more beneficial compared to that, or
Right,
what's the difference, right? So that's the first, the need, and then I guess number two would be emotions also.
Right, right.
But that can be very specific to a certain industry. I feel like those people or customers who have the capacity to buy anything
Right.
and they don't really look at the price tag of any
Right, right.
item, it really matters to them. It can be profile image, or what does that certain brand give them,
Right,
It can be status, it can be all of these things. And finally, I feel like what makes them buy is really influence.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So there are so many other things, but I feel those are the three I can share today.
Right.
Influence can come from the people that are closest to them,
Right.
especially at a specific time that they want something. If, let's say, a trusted partner, spouse, or even just a brother who is very much trusted can say
Right.
something and say, hey, are you looking for a new pair of Air Jordans? Did you know that this is
Right.
so rare? And if that makes him feel, wow, what I got, the pair that's so rare, I'm the only one in the Philippines or tatlo lang kami,
Right.
that can push them to buy.
Kaya may boomang influencers.
Correct. You're right.
Right. And tell us more about influence as a sales driving factor.
I feel like influence is also a tool.
Right.
So to the influencers out there, I guess what I want to say is there has to be some responsibility in the way you influence others
Right.
to buy things. No, in retail, of course, it's a job.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I think there has to be some sort of, because what one thing I realized when teaching sales, it won't work if you yourself do not really believe on the product you're
okay.
selling or even the concept
Right,
or
right,
whatever
right.
it is. It's hard if you try to wing it
Or fake it.
or people see it na sobrang hindi genuine. Parang kahit na then you come across a super hard sell,
Right,
diba? Na
right,
parang,
right.
oh wow. So with great power comes great responsibility. So I feel
Right.
like that's what I want to point out. If you can influence people to buy a certain product, why not
Right.
choose something that's beneficial and really purposeful?
So all those things that you were selling in 20 years,
Okay.
you believed in all of those products.
Well, there were times, to be perfectly honest, Mirza, it was a job. So, ang hirap eh. But, looking at it, ang ganda ng question mo. But thinking about it now, there were some na hindi talaga. Na I would say, I would...
Hey, it's Stan.
It's Ro,
Chino.
Emil.
And along with Rowan ASH, we are the Wrestling Podcast. We are the longest running weekly episodic Filipino wrestling podcast.
Each week, we talk about the latest happenings in pro wrestling. We give you takes from perspectives honed from years in the wrestling business and syempre as fans.
If you want someone to help process the feels about the different ganaps from WWE, AEW, NJPW, Impact, and more each week, you'll know what to do.
Tune in to the Wrestling Podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and wherever you get your podcasts.
believe more or choose the competitor more. But
Right.
if you're hired to do something, right, the
Right.
responsibility is there to make sure that, you're loyal to the company that
Right,
feeds you.
right.
So, yeah.
I guess as long as hindi masama
Exactly.
or
exactly.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Right.
And, there is a responsibility there, but at the same time, syempre, you have to make sure na tama ka.
Right.
You're not selling something that's gonna harm someone.
Right.
Diba?
So speaking of hard sell, as you mentioned, we're
Yeah.
bombarded all over the internet
Right.
by somebody selling something, people marketing things. So how does one sell something, whether a thought or an idea or a product, without making people feel na sinesales talk mo sila?
Oh, okay. That's very hard.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
I personally don't believe in hard selling.
Right.
Whether that's online, saying something, or, doing a pitch.
Right.
I feel like, kasi ako mismo, personally, if I hear someone doing hard sell to me, you can see it a mile away and you can say, sobrang pilit. Is
Iiwasan mo
there
na
a catch? Oh, is there a catch? Is there something there that parang I need to know about? So I would say, wait
Right.
lang. I'll do my research first.
Right,
I'll ask
right.
people and then let you know. But to me, where I use hard sell, I'm also a motivational speaker.
Yes, you are.
And that's where I use that hard
How?
selling. But it's not the hard sell na parang nasa rally.
Oo,
Hindi naman ganun.
oo.
But sometimes, if, for example, I really believe in being a responsible, genuine seller,
Right.
when I speak, when it comes to the trainings or workshops that I do, yun, a different Jerome.
Right.
You'll hear a different Jerome. Someone who's very, very, hindi naman adamant, very convincing.
Right.
I put my foot down. Pero hindi naman sabi lang ng wife ko, Jerome, minsan parang pinapagalitan mo yung audience. But truthfully, when I believe in something and it's
Right.
really something that I feel like,
Right.
hey, you should hear about this, then
Right.
then the conviction is really, really there.
Right. So I guess you're gonna teach part of that today.
Well, hopefully.
Right. So yeah, please do tell us how much of selling skill, if you break down being a good salesperson, what does it come down to? Is it charm? Is it being a good speaker? Is it being friendly
Right.
and chikadora?
Okay. To be honest, all of these things, like for example, active listening,
Right.
having great communication skills, being relaxed during the pitch, being very detailed, understanding how to talk to your customer, knowing their personality, and also at the same time making sure you cover all bases, you
Right.
prepare.
Right.
These are all important. And you can't just say, oh, only preparation or only speaking or
Right.
power dressing is the
Right.
only way that can sell. It's a combination of everything. And you'll hear a lot of sales teachers and sales trainers that say na ito yung 5, these are the top 7.
Right.
But ako honestly, all of those top 5 or top 7s, but one of the key things that I believe should always be there is the authenticity of the seller.
Right.
And it's counterculture somewhat because in the past they would always say, kung nagbebenta ka, dapat there is a role that you play and you're able to role play in a way na parang, wow, super believable ni Jerome. But nowadays, because everything else is researchable or you can find it on the internet, eh, but they don't really need you. Eh.
Yeah.
And the reason why people ask sellers, hey, what do you think? Minsan, tatanungin ka nila, what do you think? Pero in truth, meron na silang PowerPoint presentation comparing one brand to the other.
Right.
And they don't really need to ask you the details. But what they ask for you is the malasakit that you give. And that's where authenticity comes. If a seller genuinely says, you know, sir, in truth, baka mas maganda ng konti yung product ng kalaban.
Wow.
But to be,
Sasabihin nila talaga yun.
well, I don't know kung meron, di ba? Pero I found that very beneficial for
Right.
a certain industries, no? Na parang, yeah, perhaps mas maganda ng konti yung
Right.
kalaban. But if you're going to go with us, then the service with me as your account manager or the person who will handle your account will be there. So that's where relationship naman counts. And I feel like in this day and age where everything, sabi mo nga, there's so much clutter out there.
Right.
Sometimes you don't know already who's genuine or not.
Right.
If a seller can be authentic and genuine towards the buyer,
Right.
that can be a game changer. Kasi ako, if I think about it, even ikaw, Mirza, if
Right,
you
right.
ask yourself, would you want a seller that is very honest to you?
Right.
Diba? Hindi yung i-invite ka tapos biglang open-minded ka ba? That's
Right.
ano eh, diba? Kaya may stigma na siya eh. So, there.
Right. So what are some of for somebody who wants to develop these sales skills, sometimes they're debilitated by some beliefs or
Right,
cultural
right.
norms like nako, ayokong maging pabibo or ayokong maging makulit or
Okay.
sabihin nila ang kapal ko, presentado or
yeah.
baka mapansin nila sobrang sip-sip ko na para lang makabenta. How can we overcome all these obstacles?
Yeah. What I noticed, one of the things that a lot of people who want to go into sales, for
Right,
example, I've trained people who were kunwari finance sila or IT sila. And then sasabihin nila, Jerome, I want to learn how to sell because I'm going to be, shifting careers. Ayoko na mag-finance or ayoko na mag-ganito. And then I want to start having my own product, selling it on Instagram. And they would all say, I can't talk to people. I'm shy.
Right.
It's possible that it's true,
Right.
but do you know who a successful seller is? The person who can be an ambivert.
Okay.
When I say ambivert,
Yeah.
both, diba?
I think I'm an ambivert.
Diba?
Right,
You
right.
can be an introvert and an extrovert an exact situation when it calls for it.
Right.
And sometimes people just feel like, introvert ako so hindi na ako magbebenta. It is something that you can learn.
Okay.
And sometimes it boils down to the fact na communication.
Right.
And then telling yourself na, if you really want to start doing this, just think about how you convince your spouse or maybe your brother or your sister or your mom, diba? Then that's already trying to talk to people. So perhaps it's just overcoming that fear of talking to people. And yun yung number one na na-observe ko based on the workshops that I hold. No? Yun yung laging sasabi nila, I'm not a speaker or I don't know how to do the pitch. So it can be learned.
So you consider those to be limiting self-beliefs that we can unlearn?
Yeah, I believe so. And then it starts with, I believe it starts with baby steps. I know someone, okay, hindi rin siya magaling magsalita. He wasn't as confident about, talking to people, selling something. Started in the internet, chatting.
Okay.
Chatting. And then slowly, because there was that dialogue
Right.
in chat, somehow when people would call and ask about the product, then he would know the answer.
Okay.
So it started there and then started trying to learn how to do a pitch, how to
Right.
create a presentation that can showcase what differentiates me from the others.
Right.
And these people who say na hindi ko alam or hindi ko kaya, if they know the product in and out, if you
Yeah.
ask them in a very composed, relaxed
Right.
environment, they would know how to answer it.
Right.
And that's being very, very authentic. And that's where a buyer will be convinced more compared to the flashy person
Right.
dressing, hey,
Right,
this is what
right.
I'm selling, buy this, that, ganyan.
Right.
there.
So the baby steps can lead to bigger strides
Yeah.
that can get you to where you want.
And just to add, Mirza, I realized na, let's say at that touch point when you are able to show the customer that you are authentic and genuine, it results to a longer relationship where they would go back to you and say, hey, siya yung gusto kong mag-handle ng
Because
account.
they trust
Yeah.
you.
Then
Right.
trust comes in.
Right. Besides the initial obstacle of getting over your fear, where else do people fail to close deals or to sell?
Oh. The follow-up.
Oh, okay.
The follow-up. It's funny because a lot of people that I talk to when it comes to sales, I've been doing this for so long.
Oh.
Ganyan. And then I ask them, how much do you follow up in terms of your kumbaga, after you close a deal or after you're able to sell? Tapos it comes out na less than 40% of the time, even if they're able to sell. Because
Right.
people or sellers, they have quotas.
Yeah.
And they always have to make sure that they hit their quotas.
Right,
So
right.
somehow when that happens and that pressure comes in, they treat customers as statistics.
Okay.
After the transaction, after they're able to sell, tapos na.
Okay.
But somehow, if you're able to make your presence felt and you follow up, these customers, depending again on the industry, they buy again.
Right.
And sometimes out of sight, out of mind. But
Right.
if you don't realize na, kumustahin ko kaya si sir?
Uh-uh.
How are you doing, sir? I know you already bought a product from me
Right,
and
right.
baka it'll take 3 months more for you to buy again. But just wanted to ask how you are. Diba? And that's gonna make all the difference.
Ganyan yata ako. Guilty. Kasi nahihiya akong mangulit. So, what is
okay,
your
okay.
prescription for that? Parang sabi, ito na naman siya. May binibenta.
Okay.
So,
Uh,
paano na?
madaming techniques about how you can frame your
Follow-up.
It can be in a message or a text or an email, right? But ako honestly there can be a script, but again I go back to authenticity.
Right.
Just say you're checking up
Right.
and maybe you can say there I might be sounding makulit, but I just really wanted to ask if you would want something
Right.
or if you would need another product for this, or if you would need, for example, a host in your upcoming event.
Yeah,
of
right,
course,
right.
research is key. So as you find out, baka may event sila or there's something like this. So I ask, even, di ba, I do trainings and
Yes,
workshops,
yes, yes.
right? So I would also check up on my former clients and
Right.
say, how are you guys doing? Maybe you would need something. And then if they say, wala at this moment, then tama na.
Okay. Hindi naman negative yung dating sa
I
kanila.
don't think so.
Okay, dapat
I don't
nga
think so.
talagang
And you know
maniwala
what?
tayo.
Oh, I realized na there is mga Pinoy kasi laging niya ako.
Oo.
Baka mamaya sabihin
Diba?
nila.
Kahit ako.
Diba? There is a connotation. Kasi pag salesman, laging sinasabi na parang, gusto ko lang bentahan yan. Or yung term na inaahente ako.
May ganung term.
The term na inaahente ako means parang binubola mo siya so that you get the transaction
tama,
closed. But ako, well, basically we're all agents here because we're trying to sell, right? So just be honest enough to say na, hey, I'm following up if you have a requirement. If not,
Right.
then it's okay. I just
Right.
want to check up on you. And then ganun
Right.
lang. Diba? So I personally have tried that and I just do just that.
Right.
Hindi ko na kinukulit na ganito, ganyan. Bumili ka na ngayon na kasi ito na yung last or something, di ba? So, yun. It works for me.
Okay, great. So now Jerome has prepared a toolkit for all of us to help us close any sales deal.
Yes. So, for today, I'd like to introduce the framework close. It's very basic, very simple. For those of you out there who want to follow a standard step-by-step procedure on how to sell, you can use the framework close. CLOSE. So C is basically connect, L is learn, O is offer, okay? S is basically for you to secure, and E is engage.
Okay.
Okay, so C is basically connecting with the customer, and here preparation is key.
Okay.
And you have to be able to understand who your customers are, what they need, what exactly is the purpose or objective for the purchase, and finally, how it's going to be beneficial for them. After that, you learn. Learn not just about, who the customer is, but also who the other stakeholders are when it comes to sale. Now, this is, business to business selling. But somehow, if one person lang siya, you can also learn about why that person needs the product and where that person is going to use that. And the most important thing is, how is it going to be useful for him? Beneficial in the long term. Because what you want really is a repeat purchase. So whether you're a trainer, a host, or you are selling something of value na mura lang or mahal, you want a repeat purchase all the time, right? So C, L, and then O is the offer. And here you make your pitch.
Okay.
When you start making your pitch, it has to be straightforward, simple, and very direct. But
Wow.
focus on the benefits.
Okay.
That's what I say.
So
Always
for
focus on the
example, what's your
benefits.
pitch as a motivational speaker
So,
or a trainer?
well, one of the things I say is what I say, I choose kasi the keynote
Right.
speeches I do.
Right,
So what
right.
I say is really based on what I experienced.
Okay.
It's not something that I manufacture or just try
Right,
to
right,
read
right.
or research on. So that's why I always talk about, overcoming obstacles when it comes to selling.
Okay.
Or inspiring people on how to, make sure they're able to make their products known out there
Right.
so that people can buy.
Right.
So there.
Okay.
So CLO, and then S is all about securing finally the sale.
Okay.
And when it comes to securing the sale, I have tips on this about, making sure you ask the customer if it's about time to, close the deal and sign the document.
Right.
Making sure that the process is, in Tagalog, we say pulido. So that if you don't make it hard for them to be able to pay you and secure that deal from them. And finally, E is engage, and that's really making sure that the relationship doesn't stop there. So here comes the follow-up. Here, make sure that you're able to politely say thank you. But at the same time, if in the future you want to really connect again,
Right.
then you contact that customer.
Right.
So that's close for B. CLOSE. C is, yes.
I have a question about S.
Okay.
Di ba? Kaya ba, di ba, they say that when you are able to convince the customer already and they're ready to buy, you cannot waste a single minute.
Exactly.
That's why meron, if you buy now, if you
Yeah.
order
Yeah, yeah,
now,
yeah,
but
yeah.
wait, di ba? Parang ganyan.
yeah.
How true is that? And please enlighten us about that phenomenon.
You know, that can be that can be very beneficial for the seller as long as it's legit.
Oh, yeah.
Parang to me, I don't feel like there's anything wrong with it, especially if there really is that promo.
Right, right.
But because of all of the scams
That's true.
nowadays, diba, people feel like, is it really
Why are you
true?
rushing me?
Yeah, exactly.
Ganyan.
Why are you rushing me? So if it's a real promotional incentive or it's something that can lower the cost for the buyer, why not?
Right.
Just make sure that you're not editing it or hiding something as soon as you introduce that.
Right.
I did like a training for a dealership, and one of the things that was very, very important to them was making sure that their agents can introduce a certain promo the right way. Because ang daming nuances niyan eh. Parang sinabi mo, you introduced something and you did not say that there was a fine print there saying na, you can only get this if you buy two.
Right.
So you always have to be transparent about all of these things, everything, to ensure that the client is buying and secure in
Right.
terms of where their money is going. And it's really, if it's a promo, then it's a promo.
Right. Because sometimes they change their minds, diba?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh, I closed the deal already, pumayag na siya. Pero wala pang nangyari na signing. And then the longer the gap,
Yeah.
pwede pang magbago yung isip, diba? What's your advice for that?
Be swift and make sure you're able to control the back end. When I say that, when I was working in real estate, we would be able to close the deal. So they would sign like a reservation fee, pay an amount of, during that time, maybe 10,000, 50,000, depending on the unit that you are selling. But somehow, the paperwork takes a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying agents can control that, because if it's a big corporation, then paano na, right? But somehow if you are able to, say, na this is a deal breaker for my sale, maybe there's a way to speed it up, expedite certain processes, so that as a seller, we're really supported in this. So kung wari they reserve Monday, by Wednesday, maybe the paperwork is done. I can have the client sign everything or somehow. Because there are certain businesses that they push the salespeople so much because of the quota. And you would understand, because lalo na pag month end yan, they would say, month end ngayon all the salespeople are, pushing so that they hit their quotas.
Right.
But after nun, the support from the back end, like for example, finance. I'm not saying finance.
Right.
Is a bad department, no?
Right.
But somehow salespeople have to be supported so that the sale pushes through. Kasi para siyang nag-book ka, tapos biglang, ayan na, ready ka na sumakay dun sa vehicle na yon, tapos biglang nag-cancel siya. That's how it feels.
Right. Or if you're on your own, I guess don't procrastinate.
Yes, exactly. And that's where preparation comes in. So,
Right. So if there's only one takeaway from our whole conversation about how to be the best, most persuasive salesperson in your life, what would that be?
very good question. To me, the best seller is someone who can adapt well based on industry trends and best practices of, kasi it really depends on the industry. Like for example, if you're selling real estate versus if you're selling like telco solutions, it's very different. But what I see common of the successful sellers, they really are prepared. They understand their product in and out. They're authentic. And the last one is they really believe on they really believe that there is something beneficial that their products can offer. In short, at the end of the day, you want to be a good seller, serve, don't sell.
Oh, I love that. Walk the talk.
Yeah.
And for those hesitant to sell themselves, which is very essential
Yeah.
in today's day and age, what's your tip?
My tip is to really understand your strengths, weaknesses, improve your strengths, and make sure that, because sometimes confidence can get you
Yes.
a certain way.
Right.
But to me, I really feel like if you really want to be better, take a lifelong belief in learning, continuous learning all the time, anywhere. Learn from people, learn from certain situations, learn from the mistakes that you make, but also learn from what other people make, right? So learn from everything. It's a lifelong learning process.
Right. So serve, don't sell, and keep on learning. Thank you so much, Jerome.
Thank you so much, Mirza.
Learned so
I
much
enjoyed
that
this.
I want to apply right away. Marami akong tanong for you later.
Yes. We'll
Oh,
chat.
where can people find out more about what you do or contact you?
Oh, yeah. Well, Jerome Tawson, you can find me in LinkedIn, and I have a Facebook page.
And you have a website.
Yes, I have a website. It's jerometawson.com. If you have inquiries, please just send me a message and we'll chat.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to You Can Do This. If you want to know more about me, visit Mirza.com. That's MYRZA.com. And follow me at Mirza Season on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, and LinkedIn. If you like this episode, please don't forget to rate it 5 stars. Hit the follow button on your podcast streaming platforms and hit the notification bell to get alerted every time we release a new episode. Catch you at our next convo, and always remember, you can do this.
The opinions of podcast creators, hosts, and guests are not necessarily reflective of the official stance of the Pod Network Entertainment, its hosts, or other network programs. The content created by the people behind the podcast is personal and not meant to harm any religion, ethnicity, group, organization, company, or individual.